Awesome. Perfect. I think we're live. I think it worked. It's telling me that there's Emma. Hey. Were you seeing a connection issue just a minute ago? I've been like hopping on and off, but well, welcome in. Tonight, invite your friends, tag your friends, whoever you feel like needs some functional energy medicine support. This is meant to be a community gathering for us to build relationships with one another, for us to, hey Grace, to seek each other out and in community, for us to have like really free information, free healing, free teachings, to give back. Because a lot of you, I'm either friends with you or you've been clients or we've been referred to one another, and it's just a space for all of us to gather around. So if there's someone that you feel like would benefit by talking about the frequency of foods, the vibration of foods tonight, tag them, invite them, send them this, let them know we'll be on for a while, and then get your questions ready because I want to sit and chat with you all. So food is vibration, and I titled this, what does it say? Why can't I just eat what I want? And that's so important because we all have the friend or the sister or the somebody in our life who we see they can just eat whatever they want and feel fine. And I know that's not the truth for so many of us in this highly sensitive, intuitive, empathic, medium, this community of us who we know our souls are a little bit different, and then our body reflects that. So let's start with the principle that energy can never be created nor destroyed. Like everything that exists just exists. That's a law of physics. Emma said, I just want all the Reese's. Yeah. Your body doesn't though, right? And I'll get into this, but a clean body knows the difference. So a client messaged me the other day and she asked me, she said, what do you think about intuitive eating and that premise? And I love that work, the intuitive eating, the books and everything that they've come up with. However, if your body is still laden with pathogens and toxicity, you're going to crave the things of that vibrational match. So food is completely energetic. Food is vibrational. I want to ask you a question, and everyone even if you're like multitasking, if you can answer this for me in the comments, how many of you on a scale of 1 to 10, or just rate your number, feel like you've found the nutrition that is perfect for you? 10 being like, this is perfect for me and I know it, and 1 being like, I know this is not serving my body whatsoever, but this is what I happen to be doing. Rate it from 1 to 10. So 10 being, this is the best nutrition that I could find for myself. I know it works. I know this is my happy, healthy homeostasis for my body. And 1 being like, I know what I'm eating is not right for my body. So rate that 1 to 10 in the comments. And then I want to see a couple people. Thank you, Maddie. Let me know how we got a 1, an 8. This is great. And there's no judgment. This is just a chance for opportunity to know yourself and know your vibration and know what your body's asking for. Jason said a 6. Cool. Jeff, what are you? I just saw Jeff log on. He's at training camp this weekend, so I feel like I haven't seen him he's been gone since last week. But I would love, Jeff, what do you think? 1 to 10. Jess said 8. Oh, I'm at a 5 right now. Glenn's day tomorrow, 7.5. And be what I guess. Okay, I'll play along. I think, how about this? When there's 2 numbers here, right? Like there's what we do and then there's what we know how to do, but put what you're actually doing right now. I'd say I'm at about a 9, especially this last week. It's been really, really good. Okay, so keep that number in your head. Now your second number I want you to put in the comments is how good you feel on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Mindy said a 7 for the previous question. Jeff said if you didn't have to cook a 10. I think we could improve your nutrition a little bit, babe. Okay. Then I'd go nuts over the juice and stuff. Yeah, like if it's like readily disposable to you but that's vibration too, right? Like I think where Jeff and I struggle is we both love juicing for our bodies. We both hate juicing. The actual like doing it. It's like kind of where we get catty with each other about who needs to do it. So, all right. So the first number that you rated was how perfect do you think your diet is in alignment for you, and then how good you feel. Okay. So Haley said a 7. The 2.5s kill me. So I probably feel a 5. Oh, I could see that, Jeff. I won't comment on why I think you feel a 5. Jason, 7.5, probably the same, 7. I hate the act of juicing, 5. Maddie said 4.5. Okay, now subtract. Take your first number. So if my diet is a alignment of a 9 and I feel a 9. Subtract 9 minus 9, you get 0. My diet is an alignment of a 8, but I feel a 5. You're 8 minus 5. And you might have a negative number. So subtract those two, and then, hey Lori, tell me what you get in the comments. Jess, we'd love to have you around and make juice for us. Sister-in-law of the Forever Award. Make for me. Yes. Oh, this is interesting. That's coming up. Jeff and I have some ideas generating about meal service, that kind of stuff. We'll talk about it later. Okay, so most people are at a 0. So subtract how well you think your diet is in alignment for you from 1 to 10. Take that number and then subtract underneath of it how well you feel. So if you're like, my diet's probably, let me use this example. My diet's probably a 9. Like, this is pretty much perfect for me, but I feel a 5. That 4, you want it to be as close to 0 to be the best in alignment, right? So when there are people, and this, we've all been here and we're all still evolving and getting there, who say, my diet's like great. Counting macros, I'm getting my protein in. How well do you feel? I feel about a 2. Okay, my diet's a 10. I'd rate it a 10 out of 10 for me, and I feel about a 2. Okay, you got that 8 variable there. So you want to get as close to even out, because the body, 0, healthy, happy homeostasis. That's what the body always wants. And everyone's very, very biochemically different. But when we talk about the vibration of foods, this is going to click. And why, like, Aunt Rita can smoke a pack a day and drink Dr. Pepper for every meal, and she's like 91 and carting all her 7-year-old friends around, and she feels great. But you have like a bite of gluten and you need to take a nap, or you eat a crumble cookie and you have a fever. This is like a real situation. Let me know if you guys feel like this is you. Emma, okay, I'm out of 10. Cleanse day tomorrow. Mindy, it was Fair Week. I ate too much pork. Yeah, so like, so getting that number closest to 0 of like, this is what I rate my diet as and how aligned I feel it is for me, right? And this is how good I feel. When that number's 0, you're like, you know what? I'm like feeling great and I found what works for me. Or it might be the other end of the spectrum. I'm feeling terrible and it's not working for me at all. But it's vibration. Food hangovers are very, very, very real. And to clue you in on like the best nutrition for you, I mean, we can go your blood work, we can do muscle testing, and I'll show you how to all do this here in a little bit, but your symptoms are your best biomarker. It's as easy as that. If you don't feel well, you are not well. Now, a lot of you have begun symptomless healing protocols with me, at first you're like, oh, I feel kind of worse. And that was my case for a long time, but a clean body knows the difference. And it's true. We can clean out our bodies of toxins and infections and pathogens. So this response to, like, remember you take a bite of gluten and you need a nap, or you eat a crumble cookie and you have a fever, we can lessen this response. But the truth is, if you're in tune with energy, if you're sensitive, if you're intuitive, if you're empathetic, if you're a medium, if you have psychic connections, fill in the word, if you're connected to the spirit, if you're a believer, whatever the word you use and makes you feel comfortable, the truth is that this is never going to go away. Never going to go away. The fact that you are sensitive to what you put in your mouth. And as soon as we have acceptance and embrace that part of ourselves, it gets a lot easier. And then we get in tune with our gifts and we can match our vibration to our food. Yes, Aunt Debbie, this is real because I know you. Yes, Aunt Debbie drinks whiskey, diet pop, and no veggies and goes longer than I do. Vibration. I've been craving cheese here like crazy. Okay, so let me use the example. Let me start with craving cheese. So we have different bacteria that live in our microbiome in our gut. So a lot of times it's like strep bacteria. So bacteria have biochemical signals. They have energy. They emit a frequency. And they send off a signal that says, I want dairy. What feeds the unproductive bacteria in our gut? Gluten, dairy, eggs. Disagree or agree with me? That's the way it is. If you want a clean gut, don't eat those things if you're highly sensitive. Some people can. They're thriving. That's their vibration. I'll get to that in a second. Now, when you clean out all those pathogens from your body, your infections out of your gut, you don't feel like that. You don't crave things. I shared my Jeff said cheese, Mayoko's cheese. I shared my colonic story on my Instagram story on Friday. Mixed reviews, but overall great. And I've been amazed. Like the weekends are like where I want to indulge because I've been like clean all week and I've been working hard and I just want to I literally want to ground down my vibration, right? Food will do that. And after the colonic, I've just been like not super hungry, just wanting to be in the sun, wanting my juice, wanting some potatoes. It's been great. Referencing Aunt Debbie. So she literally, this is what Mindy said. Drinks whiskey, diet pop, no veggies, goes longer than I do. I remember we talked about this. So what is the difference here? Your innate vibration versus Aunt Debbie. There's nothing wrong with her vibration. There's nothing wrong with your vibration. But food, remember, energy can never be created nor destroyed. It's always transferred. So when you eat something, there's an energy transfer. And your body has to either try to level up to that frequency, and when you go through a detox reaction, that's what's happening, or your body comes down in frequency to match the food. And that's why you feel like garbage when a lot of highly sensitive people eat garbage. And there's nothing wrong with Aunt Debbie's frequency. I will say that in a functional lens, and our generation is more toxic than our parents, and that's part of it. But you will always have this sensitivity. Always, always, always. So if that is her like frequency vibrational match, she's going to feel fine. I need Aunt Debbie's vibrations. Mindy, will you tell us though, this doesn't have to be a place of judgment, but in ways that you are different in the comments than Aunt Debbie, like, I know it will just come naturally. Tell us about you versus Aunt Debbie. Here's an example I like to use. I really don't have family members now that can do this. They've all begun their health journeys. But let me think of I have some friends who they're a little sensitive, like they can't eat gluten. But I noticed that it's like a soul contract with their bodies too, right? Their bodies, they can do the things. They can have the plug-in air fresheners and have the Taco Bell and the soda, and they can kind of do okay. They can go to the gym the next day. Our activities and I'd say the way we live our life are very different. And there's no right or wrong. Some people would easily argue that these friends that I'm thinking of have more fun. They watch more TV, they go out and have drinks with friends, they stay up late, they invest their extra spending in, concerts and normal human being stuff. And then on the flip side, that's not something, my body would be really sensitive to that. And a good time to me was last night when Grace and I went and got yoni steams. That was great. So it's different in the way that our frequency is being attuned. So, Mindy, you'll have to let me know how you and Aunt Debbie are different. So who is sick of counting macros, calories, trying to take the way that you eat and put a linear logic to it? If you're sensitive, that will never, ever, ever work for you. And if you're sensitive, you're attuned to energy, and it's easier for you to pay attention to vibration of foods than it is the logistics of foods. Okay, Mindy said, I have intuition. Things happen to line up in my life. Yes, you are attuned and sensitive to energy. Aunt Debbie, probably not as much. She is, but she's not as much. And you can see that play out in your life. And think about too, when it comes to food and energy, your body's going to crave what's in alignment, and that might not be super clear until you've healed and cleansed your body. But a really good example, think about when you're at work all day and you're in front of a computer, Jeff, how your body feels. You're more hungry. And some people forget to eat. I don't resonate with those people. They can skip over this whole thing. But when you're giving energy, you're working in front of a computer, you're working one-on-one with clients, you're giving, you are starving, right? Versus this weekend, I spent a lot of time in the sun, a lot of time outside, a lot of time meditating, not very hungry, because it's the way that your vibration is shifting. Giving up counting my macros and listening to my intuition has served me more than any calorie tracker ever has. Jeff, ouch, the EMF gives me lots of energy and lots of dark circles, but we still love you, babe. So the point being, Let's talk about like high, lower vibration foods. And there's no good and bad. If you get into spirituality, you'll see the way that some of the teachers I really resonate with talk about duality, and there is no good, there is no bad. Just like Aunt Debbie, she's living her life and chilling, and there's nothing wrong with the way she lives. She's doing great. But those of us who are resonating with this know we need something else. So think about this is obvious, like what would be lower vibrational foods? Processed foods, processed sugar, gluten and dairy. Those are man-made subsidies of the government. We actually didn't evolve eating those things. I want to say meat, and I still eat meat, especially seafood. This is not a propaganda of any sort, but like lower vibrational foods. If you're eating a dead carcass, it has a lower vibration to it. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong for your body, but try this. Emma said Reese's. Lower vibration. Hey, it is what it is. But what I like to do, what resonates with me and may not resonate with you in your diet, I like to be all raw until about dinner time. And depending on what I eat for dinner, my vibration will stay about the same. Or if I have something processed, or if I have large amounts of animal protein, I literally feel a thump. And I can feel my energy shifting down. And rest, digest, of course. That's why I like to do my bigger meal at the end of the day. Heavier meal, more cooked. I really, really like raw foods in the winter or on my cycle when that warm energy is needed. That doesn't always happen. But that's an example of the frequency of foods, right? Let me know what is resonating with you guys. And when we're doing a lot of inner work, clearing a lot of trauma, doing a lot of evaluating of ourselves, when we're clearing low energies, comfort food, right? Don't beat yourself up. You want the Reese's, you want the mac and cheese. I always say get it from Cafe Gratitude where it's clean. You want the donuts, get those from a gluten-free, dairy-free bakery, vegan bakery, whatever. Give yourself what you're attuning to so that can assist you in moving out the vibration. If you stay, it's like toxic positivity, right? If you stay happy above your trauma and you never feel low and sink into it, you're never going to clear it. So there are times and places for like the junk food, raw till 4, otherwise I'm sleeping. I'm a sleepy baby. And it's the more you clean out your body, the better you feel. When I started this several years ago, as soon as I ate cooked food, I would be like, oh, I'm exhausted because my gut, my liver was so sluggish. It was like so much work to move these things through. And now that's not the case. Now if I go eat 9 rolls of sushi with my fiance, yeah, we're going to be a little sleepy, but it's all relevant to your healing journey. I definitely have more energy if I leave cooked in meats for dinner. Yeah. And most of us want our energy during the day, right? When we're working. Yeah. So think about your vibration and what your body is attuning itself to. We're going to do an exercise really simple for you to tap into here, but let me know what questions you have before we pause and get into the energy side. And then a lot of you coming on, I'm going to repost this on my YouTube so you can catch. We went over some really, really good stuff that you can catch later. Everyone does that after a big meal. They just don't all know why. Mm-hmm. It's really not normal to feel like you need a nap after you eat. It's common and it's accepted, but it's not what our body wants. We want to be able to feel light, and eating every 2 to 3 hours, you can just have little grazing meals. So, all right, let me make sure I wrote down a couple things and make sure I got them all. I think what I want to stress is that the more attuned you are to energy, the more sensitive you are going to be to food. Why? Not because anything is wrong with you. Not because you're going to run into a lot of functional medicine experts who are like, got more parasites. Oh, you need to go keto. It's those carbs. Or like just this like bullshit. Like, I don't want to get censored on YouTube, but you're going to run into that. But your body knows the truth. And a clean body wants homeostasis, and a clean body is going to say, I don't want that crap. Now, the more I've healed, I can tolerate, not that my body wants it, but I experimented. I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat some gluten. This was a while ago. A little bit of soy on some sushi. I needed a nap. 2 years ago, I had a fever and body aches for 3 days. So you will build up that resilience, but if you are sensitive, nothing's wrong with your body. There's nothing to fix. You don't need to buy into all these supplements and these programs and all this crap. Other than giving your body what it needs, cleaning it out so she can have, or he can have, this neutral gauge of I don't want or I do want, and you can live your life from there. Okay. Well, let's get into the healing for today. So whether you are, sorry, my nose itches. I've been holding my cat today. She's tickly. Okay. I think I want to start with a muscle test, and I'm not really in the position to demonstrate this, but I'm going to walk you through it and tell you exactly what to do. And I want you to just listen to my words and trust it. So wherever you're at, if you're driving, don't stand up. But if you're in a place that you can participate, stand up and just hear my voice. Maybe I can turn my body so I can show you kind of what we're doing here. Okay. Let me make sure this doesn't fall over. So this is a muscle test that you can do, and I will link the video in the blog that I did this in the replay notes. But essentially, you can hold, and I'll lead you through this process. And what we're going to look for is your body leaning forward or your body leaning back. And you're gonna drop in. So stand up straight. And if you have food around, especially if you have if you're in the kitchen, you want to go to the pantry and grab some things that definitely aren't yours, right, guys? They're like the kids or your husband's or your wife's or somebody's food. If you have food, great. If you don't have food, I do this in a restaurant all the time. I'll feel into my body. And if you're sitting in a chair, you might lean too. Just don't have the back on it or be sitting in front of a wall like me. Okay. So stand up, close your eyes. If you have food around you, if you want to grab somebody's going to grab goldfish crackers. I can see it. Or cookies, or grab some junk food, grab some healthy food, put it out in front of you. I'll walk you through this muscle test. So stand up. You have nothing in your hands. Everything's just out by you. Just take a moment to drop into your body. So bringing your hands down to your womb space or your belly. If you're really sensitive and attuned to energy, you're constantly feeling other people's energy. And if you're an empath, sometimes we like to be in other people's fields than our own, just to stay above any sensations that we don't want to feel. Take a deep breath and exhale like that. Ready? Deep breath in. One more deep breath in. Okay. Now either grab a food that you know doesn't serve your body. I'm feeling this in my body. I want you to think about the one thing you know when you eat, it makes you feel like garbage. And standing up with your eyes closed, just let your body sway forward or sway backwards. Thinking about a food that you know makes you feel terrible. This is essentially a muscle test. And there's other ways to muscle test, but it's the easiest way you can do it to yourself. Okay. Now, if you have a moment and you are accessible to the comments, let me know what happened. Because there's two things that can happen when we muscle test for food. So did you sway forward? Did you sway backwards? Did you stand in the middle? Tell me what it was. And I'll tell you the two different scenarios here in a second. I want to do one more. You swayed forward to a food that doesn't serve you. Okay, perfect. I want to go over that. Mexican hard pass backwards. Rocked back onto my heels. Okay, perfect. And sometimes if you know what we're doing, could be a little influence. So if you really want to do this, have somebody hand you thing in jars blind and you have no idea what's in them. It's really interesting. Okay. For a big cheeseburger. Rocked back onto my heels. Love it. Okay, let's do one more. That's going to be obvious, but just trust your body. And if you're feeling like you're getting in your head about this, or you're going to control the outcome, just pound on your chest, cross your hands so you're no longer in a homolateral pattern, and Okay, one more. Actually going to do a couple rapid fire here. So stand up straight, drop down into your body, take a deep breath in. Exhale, imagine lemon water coming in through your mouth into your body, cold, fresh lemon water. Good. Come back to center. Do your reset real quick. Your tap, tap on the chest. Okay. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, close your eyes, drop your shoulders, drop down into your body, and think about fresh baked sweet potato. Good. Okay. Come back to center, shake it out, reset. Just like wipe off your arms, do your tap, tap, reset on your chest. Last one, take a deep breath in. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, drop your shoulders behind your back. Stand steady, feel the earth rooting through your feet. You should think about a funnel cake. Notice what happens. And I'm curious if someone's grilling tonight, because I can just taste, smell, sense someone's grilling. Maybe it's one of my neighbors. I don't actually smell it, but it does sound really good to me. And I'm not a big fan of charred food. Okay. In the comments, tell me what you guys observed. Just one thing that stuck out to you. And I'll go over so we all know that like a funnel cake doesn't serve us. But what if your body swayed forward to the maybe you were holding a funnel cake. Maybe it swayed forward to the thought of it. Right? Even though you're like, I'm pretty sure I would feel like garbage if I ate that. And then what if your body swayed back? So it's pretty obvious. If your body swayed back, your body is backing away from that energy field coming into your field. If your body sways forward, two things. One, your body wants it, and you might do fine with it. A lot of times, the body will sway forward and in this muscle test of something that doesn't logically make sense because there's something in that food that it wants. So in a funnel cake, for example, maybe your body's deficient on carbohydrates. Maybe your body doesn't have enough calories right now. And so it's not always, is this food good or bad for me? So your best biomarker are your symptoms, but this test can be good. And when I'm ordering in a restaurant, I'll sit or I'll be standing looking at the menu and I'll just feel into what does my body want? And it never fails me. It's so funny. My mind might be like, oh, but you want this fig balsamic salad with apples. And my body's like, I want this sensational bowl with toasted coconut bacon and rice and sweet potatoes and this dressing. And sure enough, the food that I'm like, no, my body doesn't want all those grains or blah, 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 or whatever it tells us. It was the perfect match for my body that day. And it felt great after I ate it. Kind of like the test where you are told positive things. I'm strong, lemon water, funnel cake, negative, cold, could get knocked over. Yeah. So this is just a test. You can also look up online, you can test this way. I find it, and anyone listening to this that's energy healing, you're so in tune on the inside and within yourself, and your truth is so resonant and strong that you can just drop into your body. And your body will never lead you astray. Ever. Not once. Never. Yesterday I had a day planned that was enjoyable, things that I wanted to do, and I woke up and I was like, I don't want to do any of that today. And I had another alternative scenario slip into my mind, and my body literally just checked in with my body. My body was like, ugh, don't do the things that you had planned that you thought you would want to do. And I ended up having one of the best days ever because body said nope. And I have no idea why, but the body won't lie, as your body's connected to higher intelligence at all times. Cool. I want to do two more quick things. One, talk about, I have a lot of clients in the military or people who are sometimes what is served is just what I have to eat. And I don't mean necessarily we need boundaries, and you can always take a dish to share, politely decline. But maybe they're like an athlete, or maybe they're in the military, or maybe there's these circumstances where like I have to eat what's served and I know it's going to make me unwell. So you can, just like you would anything else, pray over, energy heal over, and ask this food that the properties of the food, this is what I encouraged a lot of clients who couldn't get out of the to do with that administration, is just to visualize whether they have the physical thing in front of them and just ask the benefits of that thing to enter the body, and then the light, the energy field of your body to block out, to push out, to excrete out anything that's not needed. And the intentionality, the healing, the focus of this, it does work. You might still have a little bit of reaction if you are a sensitive person. If you're watching this, I promise. But you can severely lessen and be in communication with that. And you can simmer down your body's fight or flight response. Because if you're about to eat something you know that doesn't serve you, and you send energy and you pray over your food and you're asking for divine, like, homeostasis, right, to happen in your body, it really takes, most importantly, it takes your nervous system down, and then it helps alchemize the food. So, because energy can never be created nor destroyed, it can just be transferred. And when the energy of food is transferred into your body either has to meet the vibration or come, like ascend up to meet the vibration, or come down to meet the food, or it's right a match. And when you're eating foods that feel like just great and nothing, that's a match. When you're going down, when you're coming up, notice that. Okay. So last thing to close with, and if you have any questions or you feel like you want to come on and ask a couple things, go ahead and put that in the comments or send the request now, because if not, I'm just going to close this after this little healing bit. So if you think you want to come on and just have like a little mini consultation, or you want a reading, or whatever you want, or you have a question for the group, you want other people to tap into about your body, about your life, go ahead and put that in the comments now. And then the last little bit, this is going to be like 2 minutes, so just hang with me here, and I promise that you will get something. If you're multitasking, come back to me. You're going to receive a little bit of wisdom in literally 2 minutes here about your body. Okay. Close your eyes down. You can stand, you can sit, you can be lying down. This is going to be quick. Just roll your shoulders back. Roll your neck out. Just feel into your body. Maybe move around. Make circles. If you're on the floor, you could do like a cat-cow. If you're in bed, wrist and ankle circles. If you're standing, some movement. Feel good. Feel into your body. And take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Then I want you to go in your body where you have a physical symptom. Anything from a headache, to stuffy nose, to hip pain, to ankle pain, to belly pain. And if you're like, oh, I got more than one, just pick one area. And take your hands there. And if you're not sure, just bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Feeling into that part of your body that brings you discomfort or a symptom. Just taking a moment to listen. There's inflammation here, there's discord. I'm going to take a deep breath in. If you're aware of energy centers, you can just ask for what energy centers is connected to. Ask for a color, ask to see foods. Just let this imagery slip effortlessly into your subconscious. I'm seeing a lot of yellow squash for me, I think. It's a good estrogen binder. So asking your body, what would be a food that would nourish this inflammatory or troublesome part? And remember, your body is just giving you a symptom as a messenger. Okay. Write that food down in the comments. Make a mental note of it. Love to hear what came up. So I had yellow squash for my right hip, and then just overall like general vitality. And I've been really working on clearing excess estrogen. So those brassica family foods will do that. It will sweep those out of our body. All right. Lemon and blueberries. That would be really good in like a water. Like if you put like frozen wild blueberries and lemons, make like blueberry lemonade. That sounds good. Blueberries with the throat, carrot and pineapple. Awesome. I love it. Cucumber, sweet potatoes. So good. Well, that's all that I really wanted to cover tonight. So if you guys have questions, I'd always try to get back in my inbox, but if you don't hear from me, it's not personal. Just sometimes they get buried in my inbox. But let me know in the upcoming weeks, like what do you guys need as a community support with? Like what you're spending your time here with us. We're growing this together. We're serving one another in this time and space. Like, what do you need? What do you have questions about? What do you want to see? Sometimes we're doing energy readings and energy healing. I want to get into some angels and some like just divine happenstance stories. We talk about food. We talk about our bodies. What do you guys need? Let me know. We do automatic writing. Awesome. And some more foods coming in there. The feelings of disappointment, expectations came up. Yes. I promise you these foods, they're going to get in there and they're going to knock out some frequencies that don't match, right? These high vibrational foods, they come in and they shut up. And they just, sometimes when you have like a really, really good week of nutrition and you're feeling like things are coming up to the surface that are like really intense to feel, that's good. And then you can have the mac and cheese when you need to ground and when you need to just feel your feels and come back down a notch. So, alrighty, well, I will see you all next week. Same time, same place. We'll be here. Invite your friends. Let me know, send me a message or comment on any of the posts we make throughout the week about what you have questions on, what you need to see, and we'll serve one another in this time. So thanks for joining tonight.